The video goes through the main character Matthew's weekend of regular partying, sex and drug abuse, and shows its negative effects on him and his relationship. Camera. The video starts with a close-up pan of items on the floor. It then goes on to pan up to the bed to see the main character in bed, sitting up, looking disorientated. This introduces the main character and also the location, which is a bedroom, and the theme of sex. A close-up of Deandra, the female in bed, is used to capture her shocked facial expression. This allows the audience to understand what Deandra is feeling. Following this is a reverse shot to show the audience both sides of the conversation. This shot also captures emotions which allow the audience to get an understanding of what they are saying, although there is no actual dialogue. In the party scene, an extreme close-up is used to emphasize the pills they are taking. Later on in the video, a tracking shot is used to keep the camera in line with the actions of Matthew walking through the street. We also used a long shot when he was walking in the street to show Matthew's surroundings and body language. This shows his confused state of mind. Sound. Sound in the video is strictly the music track Coming Down by The Weeknd. This song itself takes us through an apologetic male speaking to his girlfriend, trying to explain his problem and his failure to deal with it. This completely goes with our narrative. The song is quite eerie and has an unusual spooky theme with high-pitched vocals. I think this reinforces the drug theme. When the bedroom scene transitions to the party flashback, the music fades in and out. This tells the audience that there is a change of environment. We cut the song short to make the video and the way it ends with "Pick Up Your Phone" to put a finer emphasis on the narrative. Editing. Editing is used throughout the video. The video has continuity editing to allow it to flow from one shot to the other without the audience realizing. The short reverse shot was used in the first scene when Deandra and Matthew had an argument. Continuity editing is used to combine two shots together of Matthew opening the door. Another effect that has been used throughout the video is the color correction. This gives several different effects. One of these were in the first scene, the video was brightened, but the saturation was turned down. This helped the visibility, but the desaturation gives the video a more emotionally drained feel. In the party scene, color correction was used to put a sepia tint on. This distinguishes the scene from the others and adds the flashback effects. A vintage effect is also used throughout the scene to make the flashbacks effect. The transitions in the video are mainly fades and just standard cuts. The fade from Matthew's girlfriend Jasmine to Matthew in the studio scene allows the shot to change without being incredibly dramatic. This works well with the music video because it has a slow tempo. Another effect used is the disappearing and reappearing of Matthew in one of the final scenes while he walks towards the camera. This goes along with the beat of the song. This effect means that Matthew is not completely there mentally, while also engaging the audience with some unusual visuals. In addition, lip sync is used in certain places in the video. While on the phone, he repeats the chorus. This directly relates the song to the narrative. Mise-en-scene. The mise-en-scene of the video is fairly forward and complements the theme of the video. The video begins in a dimly lit bedroom. The location connotes sexual actions. This gives the audience the impression something of this nature had happened. The clothing and alcohol on the floor further emphasizes that the couple had sex. However, the alcohol shows that it isn't necessarily the average romance story. When Matthew opens the curtains, it changes the atmosphere to show the audience that Matthew is now consciously thinking. The cocaine in the XO shape reinforces the motif into the video. This also emphasizes the drug element of the video. The studio scene has Matthew and Jasmine wearing black to match the background and lights focus on them. This allows the audience to focus solely on their emotions. Matthew has his hood up while in the street. This partially conceals his identity and gives the audience the idea that he isn't in his regular mind state. The phone is a prop used throughout the video, and it sends a direct message to the audience that he is talking to his girlfriend. When producing the print products, the house style was constantly kept in mind. We wanted the print products to have a very basic layout in order for them to match the genre of the music video. Therefore, we kept everything to its simplest form. As the video was set at night time and the atmosphere itself was quite a dull one, we kept the background of all the media pieces black. When we were taking photographs for our media piece, we took a wide variety of shots as we wanted to experiment with different ideas such as the composition of the images. We decided to go with our original idea of using close-up shots of the three main characters for the front cover, as the music video was quite personal and the close-up gave it this very emotional image. The male, who was the main character, dominated the front cover in comparison to the two girls behind him. This was to help emphasize the fact that the song was based around him. The two girls behind him, who are his girlfriend and the girl he cheated with, were placed in the background, and we lowered the opacity so that they blended in the background, giving them almost a ghost-like effect. All the images in the digipack were desaturated to match the video, as that had also been desaturated. We only chose to use two fonts to maintain the simplicity of the house style. The font we used was the Helvetica bold font for the artist's name, as it resembled the original font used by The Weeknd. This font was also used for the release date on the advert. We used it there as that was the most important piece of information on the advert, and it allowed it to stand out. In addition, it was also used on the back cover of the track titles. The second font we used on the media pieces was the Lunar Bar font. This was used for the title of the album, which was on the cover as well as on the advert and back cover. Inside the digipack, there are some lyrics of the main track Coming Down, and those are also written using the Lunar Bar font. We decided to desaturate the white coloured font in order for it to blend in with the images, as if kept fully saturated, it stood out too much and did not match the house style. Throughout the video, there was a motif of a logo containing an X, an O and a love heart. The idea of this came from The Weeknd's original motif, which uses the same symbols but arranged differently and in different sizes. We attempted to use this logo as often as we could. It is used in the background of every page in the digipack, but with a low opacity and a blurred effect so that it can blend in with the background. It is also used in the top right hand corner of the title of the album. Furthermore, whilst editing the front cover, the logo was also engraved in the main character's face using Photoshop. This was put there to again make him stand out and to show that the music video was based around him.
When producing a media package, we took many case studies into consideration. In pre-production of the video, we looked at many examples. One of the main ones was an unofficial video of the Weeknd song What You Need. This video explored many of the same themes as the video intended to create. This was good because there weren't many existing examples that related to our video as much as this. The video's theme of drunken parties, sex, love, lust and drugs seemed like the perfect components to a video for our song also. So we attempted to reiterate this in our video. One effect that was used throughout the video of What You Need was the black and white color correction. This gave the video a moody feel and emphasized the theme. This gave us the idea to desaturate the video. One other effect we mirrored in our video was the use of overlay to show two relating actions. As for the camera, we thought that the video's range of shots worked well. We saw the often use of close-ups and tracking shots. I think this gave the video a more personal feel, and this was something we wanted to mirror in our video. For these reasons, we felt that the What You Need video was by far the most influential and most used case study by our group. We based our narrative plot on the theme of love and betrayal. For this, I looked at more conventional R&B artists and videos. One video that stuck out to me was the Jasmine Sullivan's "I'm in Love with Another Man." This video is about a woman with a partner falling in love with another man and leaving her partner for him, although he doesn't treat her as well as her current partner. I thought this was an interesting video because it went against the typical stereotypes of men cheating. This video shows several flashback scenes. One of these was the situation that led to the girlfriend cheating. When looking at this case study as a group, we concluded that a flashback would enforce the narrative issue well. So we attempted to replicate this with a party scene flashback. This video was edited to be in black and white, which gave us further reason to adjust the saturation. Throughout the video, there were performance shots which interrupted the narrative. We thought that it would be important to lip sync, but not in this way. We also looked at a video by Alicia Keys called "You Don't Know My Name." This video follows the theme of love. However, it is challenged by the theme of mystery. The video is about Alicia Keys falling in love with a man that regularly comes to the diner where she works, and the title suggests that he doesn't know her name. The video moves in chronological order, moving from the diner in the day to a party in the night. I thought this worked well for the video, but perhaps wouldn't be so good for ours. During this video, there is a shot of her walking through a street after the party scene. This gave us the idea for the scene in the street also. Rihanna's "We Found Love" was one case study we looked at during editing and pre-production. This video followed the theme of love-hate relationships. Like our video, it isn't in chronological order, and this adds an element of enigma. This case study reflects some of the key ideas we used. Although the genre of the songs were different, there were some dark parts in the video where I thought the mise-en-scene was similar to our one. When producing our print product, we also had a look at other CD packs. We wanted to avoid the typical image of the artist on the front cover to something more innovative. We looked at Florence and the Machine's album cover to Ceremonials. This album art includes 4 mid-shots of Florence. The image looks like she is in a humble and reflective mood. After listening to this album, I got the feeling that this image reflected the mood. We decided to mirror this effect in our front cover. The image was also dark, but the thing that stuck out was her bright red hair. We replicated the effect by using his eyes. Our video was based on one of the Weeknd, so we felt that having similarities with their existing packages would be important. On further examination, we thought that the Thursday album cover reflected our story the most. Although most of it is bright, the 3 images of the female reflect the album's theme. One effect we saw was the slightly saturated image. This gave us the idea for our image's color effect. We also looked at other quite conceptual pieces of album art. For example, Michelle Delgado's "Bitter." This image maintained the theme of mystery. We thought it was good to gain ideas from, but also it was perhaps too enigmatic to gain a clear understanding of what it represented. When looking at the back cover, we searched through many case studies, but came back to our first one, Ceremonials. We felt that the simple text on the back without photography worked well and complemented the house style. This was a good example for us to follow. On some CD booklets, we found that they included lyrics. For example, Jay-Z and Kanye West's "Watch the Throne." So we followed this convention in our package. When looking at ideas for adverts, we looked at a few examples, and they mainly had the same layout, although a Drake "Thank Me Later" advert didn't contain an image seemingly related to the artist or album. However, Florence and the Machine's advert showed the same image of the album cover. So we decided to go ahead with a slightly different idea, which was to take images related to the package, but not the same image.
In the music video, we attempted to follow Todd Wolff's narrative theory. However, we changed it slightly by not introducing the problem at the beginning as expected, but instead starting the video with the morning after and later introducing the problem in flashbacks halfway through the video. We used a range of action codes according to Barthes. For example, we used action codes such as showing the empty alcohol bottles and cans right at the start of the establishing shot on the floor of the main character's bedroom, which implied that whatever scene followed would have been influenced by these empty cans and bottles. In the beginning of the flashback, there was a shot of these empty cans and bottles. However, this time they were not empty, and along with cocaine and pills also shown, the audience were able to automatically tell that this meant that the main character's actions in this flashback would have been influenced by these pills and drugs. Another example can be seen in one of the earlier shots when the main character is shown in bed, and there is a close-up of a girl slowly coming up from under the bed sheets, slowly stroking him, which connotes that they had some sort of sexual relations the night before. There were two enigmas in the music video's narrative. The first was the fact that the audience did not know who the main singer was on the phone to in the beginning of the video. But after the flashback, when the problem had been clarified that the main character had cheated on his girlfriend, who is the person that he was on the phone to, the main enigma became, will she forgive him? This kept the audience interested, as they would have to watch the whole video to find out. However, by the end of the video, it was still never answered, leaving the audience curious and even giving them the choice to give the narrative whatever conclusion they wanted. The products seemed to work well together, as we made sure that the digipack stuck to the house style and theme used in the video. Examples of elements that were included in the house style were the colours used, which were kept quite dark and desaturated in both the video and the images used in the digipack, as it suited the narrative, which was a pretty obscure one. The motif, which was the logo of the XO and the love heart used in the video and all throughout the digipack. Our pre-production focus group was our chance to pitch our idea to our peers for critical analysis and feedback regarding our video before we started. To give the group a better understanding of the song, during the focus group, I gave a quick synopsis of it and played it in the background. I started by explaining the brief narrative and the purpose to the group, which was a conceptual view of a man's weekend after the party, showing us the negative after effects of drugs and having a good night out, through the breaking down of a relationship, while also showing flashbacks of the night before. And our purpose was to loosely illustrate a possible story of this song, giving the audience a wider view on partying, sex and drugs. Our idea was to put in a second party scene. However, we were given the feedback and this caused us to rethink the idea. Eventually we decided on the video to have included one party scene. We discussed ideas for our lip sync on specific trigger words. We originally planned for the main character to be on the phone throughout the whole video. We then went on to describe small features in the video such as color correction, which would be used to reinforce the concept of drug abuse. Other effects we touched on were the vintage and desaturated sepia tone, which we intended to use to emphasize the flashback scenes. We also presented different aspects of camera. One of these was to film a long tracking shot of the main character on the street. Although my peers thought it was a good idea, my teacher and the technicians told us that unless the floor was perfectly smooth, the shot would be impossible to do. We then went on to describe possible locations. These included a bedroom, a living room, and a street. The class saw these as easily achievable and fit in the theme. All around we had good feedback and we were told our plan would work well. When we completed the video, we had another focus group to view the finished video and print products. The group generally responded positively to our video. They said that the narrative was clear and easy to understand. They also thought the video was well edited. One part that stood out for the group was when the video was split into 3 parts with different visuals on each section. Another part that stuck out was when Matthew disappeared and reappeared to the beat of the music. They said that they really enjoyed this part of the video. The group felt that the camera work was good, also especially how close-ups were used to point out details. The group also agreed that the mise-en-scene fitted the video and they recognized the motif in the video. When the group were asked if there were anything they would change about the video, the only thing mentioned was how dark it was. So we decided to slightly brighten up the video. However, the group understood it was meant to be dark as it matched the mood of the song. We then moved on to our print products. The group felt that the front cover had really good photography and they looked professional. Both the females were also on the front cover, and one of the group members said it had a ghost-like effect which reinforced the narrative. The entire cover, including the lyrics to the song and some images of the main characters, received good reception. We were told that the idea was a well-executed one. My teacher said that she liked the image and text as it fit together well, and connoted the theme of the project. The advert we produced was also praised by the teacher. She said it had a simple design but it was effective. We also put a video up on Facebook and YouTube and it received positive feedback. On YouTube, views went up above 200 in less than a week and some positive comments were left. Constructive criticism on Facebook that the lip sync could have been better. The feedback for our entire package was a very positive one overall, and the group felt our package worked well together and kept a constant style that complemented each piece of work.
When producing the entire package, we used many forms of digital technology. When filming the video, we were given the option to use the college's camera. However, as one of the group members had a HD video camera at home, we used that instead. This was also better because we didn't have to return it, giving us more time to film. This camera model was a Hitachi. It was a light model and easy to transport. The video was captured in an SD card, and this was more convenient than using tapes. It had a 5 times optical zoom and 10 times digital zoom, enabling us to film from further distances. For example, the last shot of the video where Matthew is sitting on the pavement. When filming the bedroom and party scenes, we used a floodlight to provide extra lighting, which made our shots look more clearer. Like the camera, this floodlight also belonged to one of the group members. This floodlight was often positioned behind our camera and sometimes directly on the subject of focus to give a better shot. The floodlight was used in combination with the standard living room lighting in the party scene. One item we used throughout the filming was a steady mount. This tool allowed us to film in hand whilst maintaining stability. We felt that this tool was vital for the quality of our production because the close-ups were key and mid-shots could be obtained by handheld filming. For a few shots, we used another, which was the tripod. We used 2 different tripods. One of these was a lightweight model and the other was a heavyweight tripod which was attached to the dolly while filming. This heavy tripod was used to film the studio scene. We thought that using a dolly would give us more dynamic shots than if it was stationary. However, the long shot of Matthew walking towards the camera on the street was filmed using a lightweight tripod. This allowed us to capture both the shots off the street with and without Matthew. When the filming of the video was completed, we then exported our files onto the Macs and into Final Cut Pro. We used Final Cut Pro for all our video editing. The program was fairly simple to use and our group members were quick to catch onto the various functions. We used Final Cut Pro to add all our effects. One effect we created was the display of more than one shot at a time, using one video file to overlay the other. In the very beginning of the video, we used an earthquake effect to shake the video for dramatic effect. Once we completed the video, we were able to export the file using QuickTime conventions. Once we completed the video, we were able to export the file using QuickTime conversions to export a high quality version of the video. When constructing the entire project, we also used Wix as a page to share all the pre- and post-production work. This app was also very user-friendly and interactive with the way that you could present your work. For example, our case studies were displayed on a page alongside the actual video and an image of the artist. Scans of pre-production documents were fairly easy to upload. Also, creating a custom layout using Photoshop to create a background for Wix was an idea we both discussed and decided to go ahead with. When taking photographs of our models for the print product, we used the TV Studio. We were equipped with a Nikon digital SLR camera. This camera's images were clear and professional looking, which was ideal for the images on the CD package. One of the members of our group had extensive photography skills, and this enabled us to get the best images. The camera and studio lighting was set up to reflect the nature of the song. When using the camera, the flash gun was also used to reduce and increase exposure. We used this to bounce light off the gold and silver shiny balls to give different effects. The silver side gave us more of what we were looking for. The gold side gave us more of a warm feeling. When editing the photos, we used Photoshop CS5. This program is very good, and our group had extensive knowledge of how to use it. One effect that we constantly used for the video was lowering saturation. We accessed an online font website and used it to compare and find a suitable text for ourselves. We found them and then went on to editing the actual text to give it the same look as the Weeknd's actual font.